Remember early in the year when I made a prediction video hoping that people will notice me again? Yeah, nobody cared about that video, much like my YouTube career since 2019. More so now that I'm hated over something that is genuinely true, and I will not discuss about that video. But what we will discuss is how awful my predictions were. Oh jeez, when I made this video that hardly anyone watched, I only did it because it was the cool thing to do, but also an excuse to show my photos. I got no other choice but to reflect how horrible they actually were. Let's start off with ARCA. Number 1. Jesse Love will win 3 national races. Wrong! No question, one of the most disappointing drivers of 2022 was Jesse Love, who only won a single national ARCA race. He didn't even finish in the top 10 in points. Had that disastrous crash involving Bryce Hagenberg and Buddy Kofoid at Springfield didn't happen, we would have been talking about Love's dominant effort that day. Instead, we ponder if Kofoid would have beat Love, but we'll never know. You know what's sadder than being wrong about Love's total wins? All he's going to be known for these days is his rather pathetic confrontation with Sammy Smith at Toledo. It was just sad that Sam decided to flex on Love by doing a burnout in front of him. It's just an awful look, and based on what I've gathered, reputation on Love's camp isn't all that great. That does concerns me where Love will fall. And I feel like he's going to be in the same pipeline of guys that I heavily touted only to be utter disappointments. Look at you, Todd Gilliland, Derek Krause, Sam Mayer, Jake Drew. I'd be worried. And speaking of Jake, number 2, Jake Drew will win the ARCA West Championship.
You win. Perfect.
For the first time since 2018, Bob Bruncotti ruled the West, and saying that is a total understatement. Jake Drew took off when he finally got that elusive West wins at that trenchful afternoon in Portland that I think my shoes are finally dried. Drew wouldn't stop winning and just put a number on everyone out west, as evident of winning 4 times in a span of 5 races, including another victory in Portland. Sunrise Ford ends the year 1-2 and Bruncotti isn't coming back in 2023.
Excuse me? What the hell?
Yeah! Richard Burgess is also calling it a career apparently. And on that note, what was unfortunate about this season's West campaign is the lack of drivers responding to Drew's performance. PJ Pendergelli exited from the trail mid-season, and with the somewhat exception of Cole Moore, Bill McAnally Race just couldn't find a proper rhythm with these Chevy-powered cars. Once Tanner Reif got going, it was too late to mount a title fight. Time will tell how healthy the West Tour will be in 2023 because that too will look very different, with many teams and drivers leaning towards different pastures. To be honest, I'm genuinely worried about the West's future. There are too many unknowns that I can't discuss here, but if it becomes a reality, what I just said may come into fruition. Number 3. Sammy Smith wins the national ARCA title despite missing races.
What?
When you're only running 60 to 20 races, common sense says you won't win the title. 2-time ARCA East champion Sammy Smith's quest basically died as soon as he didn't win races and got a 12th place finish at Pocono. At least he won the last 3 races, but in the end, the championship went to Nick Sanchez. I did say Sanchez would be in the mix, but wasn't too confident how strong and consistent he'd be in 2022. Sanchez was simply the better man, and to put it bluntly, he was the only full-time ARCA driver to win races, as both title fighters Daniel Dye and Raja Karouf went winless. But if a couple races went better for Smith, it would have been a much different picture. But never again will I make such stupid prediction where the obvious answer is evident. In case you're wondering, Smith finished 4th. Great effort for the man I consider ARCA's driver of the year, but the age limit been another driver's season in the world of stock car racing. Oh boy, it's not looking great in my predictions so far. Let's see how I fared in the open category. Right. Former supercar racer Renee Gracie. Number 4. She'll not make any NASCAR starts. In the words of Steve when telling Robin about Tammy Thompson singing like a Muppet, told you. You know who made NASCAR starts in 2022? Julia Landauer, Harrison Rhodes, Brad Perez, Jacques Villeneuve, Marco Andretti, Danny Kvyat, and Kimi Räikkönen. Hell, Tarso Marcus didn't even make a Cup start, and the odds of him making a start had more leverage than Renee's chances of racing a NASCAR. Speaking of Tarso, Michael Roos replied on a comment where a NASCAR Heat 2000 mod would be the only time you'll see the number 79 car in 2022. He said, bet, so I won. Where's my prize, Mr. Moobs?
Why don't you shut the fuck up?
Moral story about Renee. I knew this was an easy slam dunk. I guess there wasn't a Gary Valentine to help her reach the promised land. Maybe she didn't convince Ted about her racing career like it's a goddamn waterbed. What's she gonna do? Drive backwards in Tarzana in a truck? Be a good driver? The world may never know.
Don't tell me to make it more sexy, man.
Number 5. At least 4 drivers will be let go from their full-time rides.
Let's see, shall we? Brandon Brown of Brandonville Motorsports, Chris Wright at Nice Motorsports, Austin Herzog at Bill McAnally Racing, Jade Buford at Big Machine Racing, Brett Moffitt at Our Motorsports, Josh Williams at BJ McLeod Motorsports. I don't count Jesse Little at Young's Motorsports as he decided to call it a career after the Bristol night race. Season-ending injuries such as Kurt Busch nowhere near counts. Not even Thad Moffitt at Room Brothers Racing and Parker Retzlaff at RSS Racing count, as those weren't even full-time gigs to begin with. The other ones, however, count in some shape or form. A couple of those were simply to go on their separate ways, such as the case of Chris Rice and Josh Williams. The latter is rather sad because he left DGM to go to McLeod, and it was just a total disaster, missing races to where it ultimately became a bad career move. At least he got a cup opportunity out of it, so that's nice. Williams ultimately went back to DGM. Some were simply piss-poor performances by the standards of the race teams, like Herzog, who was driving not only the most iconic car of the West, but the reigning championship-winning car. It's heinous when you get sacked mid-season in ARCA West. And BMR went with Landon Lewis, a guy that's actually won races out west. Jade Buford got done very dirty in my eye. He was solid in qualifying, but the problem is he was just unable to capitalize those efforts on race day. There comes the vision of maybe getting some Cup guys like Tyler Reddick to get the team in the right direction. It worked, I guess. Reddick won at Texas, and honestly, let's see how Parker Kligerman does in 2023. Ultimately, they got better, but at the expense of Buford. Brett Moffitt is such a peculiar case that I really don't know how to properly word his tenure at Our Motorsports. Difficult is a word I'll say, and that's that. It's been such a crossroads career for the man I once labeled Remember the Name back in 2014. And finally, in the case of Brandon Brown, turmoil beyond this video and a later prediction.
Number 6. Taylor Gray will win in 4 different divisions this season.
Fuck!
That motherfucker John Hunter Nemechek, the son of a bitch, ruined the sweep for Gray at IRP that I'm still genuinely mad about. No, seriously, this made me more irate than what Carson Hosebar did to Kobe Howard. Yes, that moment was pathetic because I was this close of getting that one correct. Gray won in all 3 ARCA divisions but went winless in the Truck Series. Fortunately for him, he'll run full-time in the Truck Series for the newly rebranded Tricon Garage. Question remains how well he will do in a Toyota Power engine compared to the almighty Ford he's been acclimated for years. More on John Hunter later, but in the end, Gray won a combined total of 6 ARCA races, but no East title, as that honor went to Sammy Smith. I can see Gray being a dark horse contender for next year's Championship 4, by the way. And speaking of trucks,
Number 7. Bud Light will sponsor Ben Rhodes for 1 race.
Anheuser-Busch!
You blew it!
They didn't even bother cashing in an organic moment by sponsoring the Mama Jamma. Ben Rhodes made the Championship 4 for a second straight year, and yet nothing came out of the presser.
Sad.
I had to ask Rhodes about the Bud Light thing during Media Day, by the way.
Bummed in a way that Bud Light never kind of came along to sponsor y'all or help you in endorsements.
A little bit. I thought we could have a great time together. But, you know, look, they're a big company. They got stuff going on. I'm just worried about a race team now, and thankfully we've got other really, really good partners. We've got Kubota on board. They're new into the sport. They've, check that out.
Number 8. Todd Bodine will not get a top 10 in his return to the series.
I guess Todd Bodine over Q-hole. Never mind.
The Onion got a bloody top 10 at Darlington. In race 2 out of the 6 he made in his quest of 800, not 1,000 like I stupidly said in the video, NASCAR National Touring starts. I shouldn't really be surprised considering the quality of the Truck Series is nowhere near as it once was a decade plus ago. But when he finished 10th that night, I was genuinely shocked. It's a shame not many will remember it because some moron decided to throw a water bottle towards John Hunter Nemechek following the post-burnout. Anyways, the Onion held his own, but aside from that, he got his 800 start. But such milestone was indeed ruined in his eyes, and probably from others by one Hailie Deegan at Pocono. Say, did I make a prediction about Deegan?
Number 9. Matt DiBenedetto and Hailie Deegan missed the playoffs.
Would you look at that? 2 rather mediocre drivers proving me right in the Truck Series. Spoiler alert, this is the only dub I got in this category. I just had that feeling that neither DiBenedetto nor Deegan would be in the mix. Luck wasn't on Deegan's side whatsoever. This year was nowhere near the top 15 in points all year. Seriously, I said Deegan would miss the playoffs by a couple of spots. Man, was I embarrassed with the putrid luck she had. Deegan looked like those Seattle Mariners teams that lost 100 games during their brutal near 21-year playoff drought. But guess what? The Mariners made it to the playoffs, not only for them to punch themselves in the...
What? What are you talking about?
Time will tell where Deegan ends up in 2023, as DGR will switch from Ford to Toyota, leaving her without a gig in NASCAR. Following a 13th place finish at Las Vegas in her Xfinity Series debut for SS Greenlight Racing, maybe the Truck Series isn't the right place for her development. Oh, where have I heard that before? As for DiBenedetto, all I can say about this season prior to Talladega was he and Austin Wayne self being stuck at Bristol. He's doing what he is known to do in his career, mediocre. At the same token, he's done much better than I thought, as he never fallen outside of the top 15 all year. For so much hype around him going to Truck Series, he still missed the playoffs. At the end of the day, DiBenedetto has that Talladega win, which I still stand that Brett Holmes got robbed.
Hey kid, you know what? You're gonna be wrong!
Holmes even has the Talladega win banner. Time to call 1-800-BE-PETTY.
Number 10. John Hunter Nemechek will win the Truck Series championship.
John Hunter Nemechek is seriously trying to outdo Colton Herta, and who can croak under pressure? Questionable antics at IRP, a flat tire homestead to cap off an abysmal round of 8. You don't come close to making the championship 4. Seriously, such a frustrating year had me peeking at the door as if I was Esty pestering Alana when she came back from her first dinner with Gary and Licorice Pizza. Another competitor in the most disappointed category. This championship was his, he just couldn't get it done, which does him no favors in his stock getting back to the Cup Series. And with crew chief Eric Phillips going to 23-11, I'm worried about Nemechek's future in the sport in terms of if he'll ever be considered as a future Cup winner. Get it together next year, please. Please. For now, Xfinity Series predictions.
Number 11. Brandon Brown's paint scheme will look like an unbranded Formula One car.
Without question, the biggest pain of 2022 in terms of a driver's outlook is Brandon Brown. This was the first prediction I got correct, as he indeed rolled into Daytona with an unbranded number 68 Chevrolet. You already know the story. I'm not going to explain it here, as it goes well beyond racing, as this channel is about racing, music, sooner or later, and gaming. In the end, it's a total shame that the relationship between Brown and Brandon Bill Motorsports is broken. Brown's future in NASCAR is a mystery, and with Chris Wright taking over the number 68 car these days, well, I don't know what's in store for all parties. And putting Wright in the 68 ultimately turned out to be a disaster. That team fell out of the top 20 in owner points. They don't get that bonus money.
Number 12. Sam Mayer will win 2 races.
Much better year for Mayer, but painfully ended up going winless. Got as far as into the round of 8, and wound up with 11 top 5 finishes, with 4 of them being second or third. To be honest, this is mirroring Todd Gilliland's tenure at Kyle Busch Motorsports. Will he ever win? If he doesn't win in 2023, it's another talent I had high hopes down the drain. He's a solid driver, but what are people going to remember about Mayer's 2022 season? The stupid fight with Ty Gibbs? That's about it, and it's a downright shame. With Mayer going winless, did I at least get 14 Xfinity Series winners in 2022?
Number 13. We'll still have 14 different Xfinity winners.
Nope.
We'll certainly have our first-time winners like Mayer. And let's not forget, Sheldon Creed is a rookie. I can see him winning too. As a matter of fact, Landon Castle and Riley Hurst will win in the series.
What? You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Mayer didn't win. Sheldon Creed's luck was a total farce. Landon Castle came nowhere near close of winning. Not even Riley Hurst come close. Austin Hill, Cole Custer, Jeremy Clements, and Brandon Jones won this season. Remember Jones winning at Martinsville? Remember?
For a long time. Oh, and there's a punt.
Jones gets tagged by the 54!
Whoa! What did happen is Ty Gibbs being a factor preventing to have more than 14 winners. But I didn't necessarily expect Noah Gragson and AJ Allmendinger playing a role as well. Those 3 drivers won a combined total 20 times, and on that note, 11 drivers won. I'm a lot of things, but number predictions are usually my strong suit. When it comes to NASCAR, I had a record of a Jose DeMitch at Altuve's batting average before the World Series. garbage.
My pick for the Xfinity Series Championship, number 14, that man will be Josh Berry.
He made the championship four but brushed the wall at Phoenix. Finished fourth to the points as Ty Gibbs and Noah Gragson battle for the win and title. Advantage Gibbs. Hope the Cup predictions are not a total dumpster fire like Russell Wilson. Freaking serious, how bad was it?
Number 15, there will be a total of 27 red flags this season, with 7 of them coming from the Busch Light Clash.
I expect nothing, and I'm still let down.
14 stoppages all season, with 2 of them coming from the Clash. I was stunned that all we had is just those 2 stoppages in the Clash. I honestly thought Justin Haley's fender being stuck would bring out a red flag, but no, it didn't. Oh yeah, Austin Cindric caved in the wall a little bit, easy fix, that was a red. Almirola pounding the wall, that was a red. Mind you, Jeremy Mayfield had that similar situation in the Clash of 04, when it was known as a Bud Shootout. That was a red flag. I'm not necessarily mad about being wrong here, and at the very least, the driver intros in LA were done on those iconic steps. Now I'm only going to say this once. If they bring Heim to the Busch Light Clash, that'd be Nick Huff boss.
Boo this man!
Wait. What's my next prediction again?
Number 16, Cody Ware will finally capture his first Cup Series top 10 result.
If I could be serious for one moment, this is not Auto Rock and Racing 94 that over-exaggerates and gimmicks the hell out of opinions. This is Luis Torres speaking right here. Legitimately, I was genuinely happy that Cody Ware finally got a top 10. Took him long, but there's so many drivers that can never claim to have a top 10 in the Cup Series. Michael Annett, Cole Witt, David Green, those guys never got a top 10. Cody Ware was able to finally get it done at Daytona. Yes, there is some truth that when I made this prediction in January that I was not too keen about the idea of him finishing in the top 10. I just felt like it's not going to happen. It's just not meant to be for him. And then personal issues between us and Rick Ware Racing on Twitter, apparently, it added fuel to the fire. When that incident happened at Texas, I was genuinely worried that he was going to be out for the rest of the season, but the fact that he came back is admirable. Let's just hope Cody Ware has a true breakthrough in 2023. This moment, he deserves it. Personal feelings aside. Now let's get back to my awful predictions.
Number 17, there will be 4 first-time winners this season. Tyler Reddick.
Oh, shit.
Austin Cindric.
Come on, let's go!
Chase Briscoe.
Stand up now and face the sun.
Noah Gragson.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez also got their maiden wins. Therefore, 5 became NASCAR Cup winners.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Look, I wasn't expecting near Trackhouse drivers to win when I made this video. I figured they'd be strong, but winning was not on my radar. They were going to come up short. I felt like 2023 would be the year both of them get their wins. Hell, I wasn't even expecting Ross Chastain to be in the championship for picture. I don't know, man. This Justin Marks guy, he's ahead of the curve. As for Gragson, he didn't really came close to being in the mix, which sucked. But then again, I was expecting him to drive for Hendrick. That might have given him a decent shot at Talladega. Maybe next year, Gragson wins at Petty GMS.
Number 18, Kyle Busch will go winless for the first time as a full-time Cup driver.
2022 indeed was the end of an era for Kyle Busch. The Joe Gibbs era, that is, as KFB did end up winning at the Bristol Dirt Race by backing into victory thanks to Chase Briscoe losing it. Keyword losing it. He didn't wreck Tyler Reddick, he lost it. Despite the lone win of 2022, my ill feeling was correct. Let's just hope Kyle Busch gets treated well at Richard Service Racing because his Truck Series program will be Nightmare Fuel guaranteed.
Number 19, a Cup winner will get disqualified.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
James Dennis Allen Hamlin at Pocono allowed for Chase Elliott to add another win in the column. Okay, it also took a Kyle Busch DQ for Elliott to win after crossing the line in third. I'm glad I didn't say who was going to get disqualified from a win. But to be blunt with you guys, Dennis was the one guy I had at the top of my list because his career is legacy of failure personified. Denny has been through so much crap in his NASCAR career. It's quite a sad tale if you ask me. But at the end of the day, I still think he's one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers, though. 75 greatest drivers. More on that next time.
Number 20, Ryan Blaney will win the Daytona 500.
T. Penske won the Daytona 500, but Ryan Blaney just wasn't the guy. Instead, it was Austin Cindric who happened to put Blaney into the wall to ruin such prediction. Woof. Blaney ended up winless for the first time since 2016. Yeah, he won the All-Star race. Some people say he shouldn't have not won that one, but he ended up winless in the points-paying races. Could have won at Phoenix, though.
Number 21, William Byron makes the championship 4.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Well then, who knew Darlington would be the turning point of Byron's otherwise underwhelming season? He made it to the round of 8, but nowhere near so like he was prior to Darlington. Such pittance. Let's hope that 2023 isn't a disaster where he misses the playoffs and the power of field goal dies in front of our own eyes.
Number 22, my final prediction, Kyle Larson will win back-to-back Cup Series titles.
In a bizarre way, Kurt Busch's injury at Pocono caused a ripple effect on the whole entire playoff picture. Larson was eliminated after the round of 12, but the 5 car did make the championship 4. The Coroner's Championship 4, that is. Larson didn't win at Phoenix to bring the team back-to-back titles, and even if he did, I said the driver, not the car, so regardless, I would have been wrong. Sums up my 2022 in a nutshell. Dud after dud after dud after dud after dud after dud. What a disgrace. Joey Logano, the first guy I said on that stupid silly list. You know the list where I mentioned Alana, Gary, Esty, Danielle, Denver,
LeBron James.
You know that one. Won the Cup title though. Let's see how things look outside.
You hear my phone ring?
Hell no!
The biggest huffwit, piece of shit, scum of the earth, just reprehensible trash, Joey Logano gets his second championship, his second Mickey championship in his career.
I see people are still mad about Joey Logano. Never change, YouTube. Never change. Joey Logano! Just tell me what my final score is. 7 of 22 was my final score.
It's terrible. Just terrible.
A big, fat F on the grade board. Less be said, the better. So until we meet again, let's hope I don't bother doing a 2023 prediction video, because if I do, I'll instantly regret it and wonder why I'm no fodder. I am no... I gotta stop listening to forums.